Guys, so I am here at the movies. I'm about to just go and see Godzilla -1 just because I wanted to clear my mind, and this is literally the earliest showing there is since I got over here. So it starts in less than 15 minutes. Honestly, I'm going in expecting this movie to be boring. I mean, I seen the last two, Kong vs. Godzilla, and the one before that, I forgot what it was called. Both of them, I barely have any memory of it, except for that one where, it was the wife that was, like, kind of acting weird, trying to expose these other big creatures, I think, in order to set the world back in balance or something like that. And then I think that wasn't the last one, Godzilla vs. Kong. It was one before that, and she was with her daughter, and they literally did this, but then I guess those creatures were trying to destroy humans or Earth or something like that. Honestly, I can't remember too much. But in the end, like, nobody really significant died, even though that was a crazy situation. And then I guess the mom was, like, saying sorry about it later on or something like that. And then the daughter was, like, in the radio station or something. It was like a ballpark game. They happened to be all at the same place, and they found each other in this world disaster. Whatever. And then Godzilla vs. Kong, it was like when Godzilla was like he died or was about to die, and he had to get nuked to get like more energy. So that one guy, he went into like Godzilla's like den or some underwater and set off the nuke to get him back to life, but that killed him. Yeah, that's the only part of the movie I remember, yo. So that's what I'm saying. I know this movie's gonna be forgettable and boring, but I'm trying to see everything, and I didn't want to discriminate, so I just chose the earliest movie, because I was like, what, am I gonna wait here for an hour just to see a different type of movie, like the romance or the comedy? Like, I'm just gonna go and watch this. So yeah, I'll let y'all know how that goes after I see it. In terms of real estate, it's rough out here. So I am switching brokerage to the Long and Foster McLean. Yeah, that's going on. I got these two groups of 4 guys for tenants right now, trying to find them a place for rent. And it's been rough because it's just like, I feel like people are not trying to accept 4 guys, like, and to me it feels very discriminatory. But I mean, besides that point, it's just like, really do have to find a place for them, and it's just rough. Like, find a place that meets the requirements, but tis my job, and I gotta find some type of solution, and that's what I'm good at, so that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully we can get this banged out by the end of the month. But yeah, I am excited to see how this turns out, to say the least. But yeah, I still need to decompress because my mind is like, it's feeling freaking drained right now. Oh my gosh. From everything. So yeah, I'll give an update after I leave this movie and tell you how it went, but I'm already going in with not high expectations. I'm just hoping that I do not fall asleep while I'm in there. OMG, what the heck is going on with this trash can? It's literally all the way on the sidewalk in a puddle of water. Oh my gosh, this wind is shaking the car. And there's a whole sign down back there. OMG, yo, this weather is literally crazy. I'm like nervous to be out here. It looked like a hurricane about to happen or something. But okay, so I went to go see the movie. It was pretty good. It wasn't as y'all see that car making a U-turn there? Oh, dang. And you can't make a U-turn there. It is too crazy out here to be making decisions like that. Okay, so yeah, seeing this movie, Godzilla. Hold up, let me look at these character names because I don't want to talk about them and then not know their names. Hold on. Alright, don't hit me if I butcher these names, but Shikishima, male protagonist, and Noriko? Yeah, Noriko. So, they basically meet because, and you know, I missed the first 6 minutes of the movie, so I'm kind of in the dark a little bit at the beginning, because they meet after a bombing. I don't know if this is, this is taking place in like 1946, so I want to assume it's the atomic bombing by the US, but it's not really clear, because they talk about like having their own ships and, I mean, their own planes and bombing places, and that's the reason why sorry, I'm just trying to stay aware because I don't know if I should even be sitting here. This wind and water is freaking me out a little bit. But so their villages were bombed, and Shikishima comes back and sees this woman, and she's like, you're responsible for killing my 3 children. And she's like, your parents are gone too because of the bombing. And I guess she feels like it's their fault because he kind of ducked out from, spoilers for this whole movie, he kind of ducked out when his fleet was leaving to go and do this, and like all of them ended up dying. So he kind of feels survivor's guilt, and he encountered, he got stuck on this island, and the people on the island got taken out by Godzilla, and again in that time he ran too, and that's how he survived. So he's beat death like twice now, and he kind of feels bad about it. So what is it, Noriko, she ends up vowing to take this girl, Kiko, I think that was her name, from her mom, because the mom died during the bombing too, and it was a baby, an infant. So both of them, she just moves into his place basically, and he just like doesn't really tell him to leave, so he just takes him in. And it's like this little hut, and over the year they end up building it an actual house there, so it looks pretty nice. But they're kind of like a family, but none of them are related, they're just together. And yeah, he's going through all these feelings, still feeling bad. He got PTSD bad, like dude is having nightmares about the whole thing. And he has like these pictures, I don't know who gave it to him. Somebody gave it to him before they went, and those were pictures of families that have like been gone because of the disaster and catastrophe. So basically, yeah, he holds on to those, and Godzilla, they sent out on a fleet by the government, a small group of like, I think it was 5. They're on this little dinghy boat, and they have to go out and kind of try to decoy, be a decoy for Godzilla. So they basically go out, and they realize that dude is like way bigger and stronger and a person and just menace altogether. And I thought it was funny because the one guy, I forgot his name, but he's the captain for them. He he was basically like, yeah, no, we can't let go. We can't just run. Like, we got to stand up to him. Like, if nobody else does, who will? And he sees him literally just come up and, like, take a bite out of this huge ship that's, like, I don't know, like 5-6 times bigger than what they're in. And it's just like, yeah, I take that back. So they're trying to get away. But Godzilla is just creeping up on them mad slowly. Which at that point, I'm like, this is kind of dumb. Because why would he be creeping up that slowly? Like, why wouldn't he just jump up and eat them? Or throw them or whatever? Like, this whole movie kind of made me hard to understand what the heck Godzilla was even doing. Like, what motivation does this creature even have? Like, he's not, like, straight up eating these people. He's just coming, stomping on the ground, chewing apart some ships and things that are shooting at him. Like, I just don't understand why he's even coming back to Tokyo. I mean, I get it. They try to be like, oh, well, his territory, but I feel like that's a weak explanation. So, this other ship comes and they're like relieved. It's like a huge ship. They're like, oh, they're gonna come save us from him, because they already exploded 2 bombs in his mouth, and the second one blew part of his face off, but it just regenerated. So he has regeneration. It can't be destroyed, basically. And he goes after that other ship that comes, and I forgot what they do. They like shoot him or set a bomb off or something, and he just eats them. But then he just turns and he doesn't even do anything with them. He just lets them survive in that little boat, so they get away. And I guess there was a gag order in place too by the government, so they couldn't talk about it to anybody or warn anybody. They didn't want to evacuate the city because they didn't want to create hysteria, which was stupid. You guys know enough about this, how bad it is that you have to send out multiple ships, and these ships are getting destroyed by this huge monster that is indestructible, that you don't think it's necessary to oh my gosh, yo, this is mad nerve-wracking. I'm about to move. Like, the wind is fucking crazy. What is this car doing behind me? Nigga. He's moving back. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Okay. Anyways. So, whatchamacallit? Dang it, that just distracted me, OD. So yeah, they get back, and first of all, before he left, the 5 guys that are on his ship with him, he's the main character, Shikishima. Okay, yeah, so the other guys are on that ship with him. Before he left, they were just like, yo, like, this your family? Like, he's like, no. He tells the little girl, like, no, I'm not your dad. And it's just like, yo, like, why are you being so mean to this little girl? Like, clearly raising her. Just let her have this family moment. And he's just like, she's an orphan. But, I guess he just didn't want to grow attached to them, because he felt like he was still in a war. Like, he felt like he couldn't, you know, set himself free, have that emotion. But that kind of changes after. So after they get back there, it's all calm and dandy. And then Godzilla just comes straight onto the island, just stopping shit and, like, ruining and hitting buildings. Like, it's just kind of dumb, though, because, like, this dude is just coming out here, just turning around and swatting buildings and all this and that. Like, it really don't make no sense to me why this type of creature, if it was a thing, would be doing any of this. Like, the humans that were there is not causing any harm to him. He's freaking taking bites out of a train. So it's kind of just like, and he's not even eating the train. He just took a bite and was just holding it and then just turning and looking around. Like, it felt like this movie was actually filmed in, like, 1980 or something like that, or 1970s, or some old time period where they didn't have CGI or nothing to make films. Like, this film just looks so old. Like, I know it takes place in the 1940s, but why does it look so old in terms of the quality of how they made it in Godzilla. Like, I don't know, something about it, it didn't really look good cinematically to me. But yeah, so what's her name, Noriko, she happens to be on that train that he takes a bite out of, and she's just like trying to hold on to dear life because everybody else is falling out, and she happens to hang on somehow, and she holds on until he turns and he is over the water, so she just jumps down into the water. Thank God it was not shallow water. She seemed pretty high up, and even like letting go from that high up, I am surprised she even was made it out okay to just walk out of the water and try to run and stuff. But she gets out and she's just traumatized, standing in the street. Somehow, Shikimari, right? Am I saying that right? Shikishima. He finds her in the street and just like pulls her over, like, run. So they're running from Godzilla. Dude just gets like his blue back again when he's about to like blast out the beam, and he goes and turns and just shoots it in some random direction, and it's like devastating. The whole place is taking out, and they say it's only 30,000. I'm sorry, but I don't know what the population of Japan is, but that just seems like a low number for that amount of destruction that happened in that whole area. But so this happens, and then and mind you, there's no interference from the government either. That's also got me thinking, because like, what? This is a time period where you got planes and tanks and all this stuff. Like, I mean, they came out at first and shot their tanks and it didn't do nothing, but like, I feel like there was no other effort besides that to try to take Godzilla down by the actual government. Because mind you, later on, they're all banding together. This is a bunch of ex-military people who are coming together and trying to take this dude down. So basically, after that happens, the ground just shudders and like basically blows all the debris towards them, and they're standing next to this building where it's like in between, and I don't understand why they didn't go in sooner. Like, they're sitting there just staring at Godzilla, and mad people just staring at him like, what are you doing? Like, you need to run. Like, I don't care what that dude is doing, as long as I can run, I'm running. Like, you're never catching me in some life or death situation like that and just standing there looking, trying to observe. Like, no, move. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, so they wait until the last minute, and then all the wind and debris starts blowing towards them, and then she just pushes him into the middle of the building. When I'm just like, why didn't she just push him with her body and move that way? Like, I don't understand why she just turned to him, pushed him, and then just got taken by the wind. Like, that looked so... It looked kind of cool, but it was stupid in concept. It didn't make no sense. Like, it's like Titanic, freaking... Jack, and I think that was the name, the door. Like, both of y'all really could have fit, but you chose to sacrifice one. Like, it's just stupid. So then he's like devastated, thinks she's gone, and then he's like yells out, and there's all this like black stuff dropping on him. Like, I was confused in that moment, because I'm like, is this blood? Like, what the heck is dropping on him? Like, it didn't look fully like blood, but I'm like, if it was, that's gruesome as hell. So then it cuts back to his house, and he's with Akiko and the guys that were on that boat with him, and they have like a shrine of hers, and he's just like losing it. Like, he's crying, bro. And then the other guy tells him, he walks up to him and is like, yo, we're conspiring, like a bunch of us ex-military people and townspeople, to go and take down Godzilla. So he decides he's gonna go to this meeting. They develop this whole plan, or the guy that was on the boat with them develops this whole plan where they're gonna tie these like they're gonna sink Godzilla with bubbles. Like, they're gonna tie these canisters around him and then let him off, and all the bubbles gonna go up, and then he's gonna sink all the way to the bottom. they're hoping they do it quickly so that the pressure kind of crushes him. Newsflash, it doesn't. I don't know why he knows the suit is gonna regenerate, thinks that pressure is what's going to kill Godzilla. Weak attempt. And then the second backup plan was he lets off these blow up things, and then they pull Godzilla back up from under the water very quickly, and then that's what really crushes him. Newsflash, it still doesn't. And they say that he chewed it off, so that's why it was sitting at top, but they were still able to pull him up using it. So I don't know, I thought the instructions were confusing. Then reinforcement comes, that guy that they told to not come because he was young. They do this like short scene where Godzilla comes back up and he's about to like blast them all with that blue beam, and it's just like slow-mo, and it looks so like the stakes are high, a lot of tension. And then comes Shikishima with his airplane, because he got this fighter jet they found. He was supposed to use that as well because he wanted to basically sacrifice himself and fly himself straight into Godzilla's mouth and explode it, so like a suicide bomb. But he finds this guy who's gonna be a mechanic to fix it up, and I guess that dude was one of the bombers as well when he was there, and he feels like he killed those people. So then he fixes the machine, the plane for him, and he goes and flies this and tries to distract Godzilla. He actually moves him from land to the water because he gets there earlier than they suspect, so they need time to get their boats out to the water so that they can surround him in this and trap him. And they are successful with that, and they're successful in most of the planet except for actually killing him. So he's about to set this beam off, and he comes through with this plane, and he flies it into it, and it's like a shocking moment because we're like, no, we had to live for a Kiku. And because basically there was another scene in the movie before this where he just told Noriko, he told her that he felt like he evaded death too many times and he just needed to die, like it's just calling him. And she's like, no, you're alive, you're supposed to live. He's like, is this just a dream? So then basically yeah, we think he's about to just suicide and bomb Godzilla, but the other guy that was mechanic told him about, oh my gosh, so nerve-wracking, my car is shaking right now. The dude told him about a lever he can push that self-ejects. So lo and behold, dude self-ejects. He comes in a parachute. Godzilla just like falls to pieces because he bombed him in the mouth, which happened before, but I guess because it was right when he was about to let out the beam that it was detrimental to him, and he just falls apart. But I mean, newsflash, he is regenerating in the end credits of the movie. So, but at least we find out that Noriko did not die. She just was in this hospital bed. Like, she telegrammed his house, and the neighbor happened to be there who was taking care of Akiko, and found out that yeah, she was alive, and she has like an eye patch on her eye, bandages, like she's really banged up from that. I don't know how she survived that, but it is what it is. And yeah, so they're back together. And he told him, he was like, yo, the other guy was like, why did you marry her? He was like, because the war wasn't over, but I should have. So I guess they're gonna get married now. So all in all, happy ending, except not, because he's not actually dead. And throughout this whole time, I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, like, I know this is fake, but I would hate to be in this time period. Like, they are so ignorant, and they don't have the right technology to actually take on a monster like this. Not even in the more recent films. I mean, this is 2023, but I mean, there's films that take place like later in the future. Still don't got type of technology for Godzilla and Kong and all these other beasts. So this kind of just like sucks watching them, because it's like cavemen and dinosaurs. Like, y'all don't got nothing. You have no defense, so you really can't do anything much. You have your little toys and weapons that you think are useful against each other, but they don't do nothing against an entity like this. But I mean, all in all, I mean, I didn't fall asleep. I was pretty engaged the whole time, so I mean, I still would recommend watching it, especially if you already seen the other Godzilla movies. You might as well just check this one off the box. Is it worth seeing in theaters? Probably not. Just stream it. Yeah. But that's all I have. If I could rate it out of 10, I'd probably get it like a 6 out of 10. Actually, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It wasn't like a bad movie, but it was pretty average, and I don't think it's something I would just go out and watch again, to be honest. Just like a one and done, like every other one. But it's part of the times, so at least I've seen it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys thought of the movie if you did see it.